Hi guys, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at Vane. Vane is an early access zombie survival game. It's done by a developer called Ramjack Studios and is self-published. The release date was the 24th of October, so I am not too late to the party. I did see it on several of the 7 Days to Die's YouTubers that I follow, and I saw they were trying it. And I'm getting hiccups, so this is going to be good. But hopefully it's self-contained, because I've already had to do this. This will be the second time as a dust cart decided to sit outside my house, rev its engine, and then piss off again. I was like, oh, thanks for that. You haven't just ruined like 10 minutes of work or anything, you know, whatever. Anyway, back to Vane. So I looked in it, but it looked like something I'd enjoy. So Vane is a more serious take on zombie apocalypse and 7 Days to Die. It's a lot more complicated. There's a lot more systems to it, but none of them are really what I would describe as sort of inscrutable. You do have to learn the way the game does things. So for instance, you don't just have food and hunger, you also have mental capacity, you have other deleterious things that can happen to you, like wounds that have to be dealt with differently. That's kind of the same, I guess. But there's a lot more to be looking at, and one of the things in the game is you start off with water and electric, but they get turned off after a while. So you need to ensure you have infrastructure in place to provide you water and electricity when they do go. You even have to say, like petrol stations, when the power goes off, they stop working. So you have to supply power to a petrol station if you want to use the pump, for instance. So it's really nicely set up. In the first part of the game, you're definitely sort of like pushing yourself as fast as you can so you can get these things into place, all the while, you know, surviving zombie attacks. The game does have hordes. Generally speaking, you need to make a lot of noise in order to generate one. And there are ways you can do things you can do to mitigate your sort of noticeability to the zombies. Individually, the zombies aren't that much of a threat, but any one of the zombies can give you an infection, which is basically a death sentence. It is quite nice in the fact that, unlike 7 Days to Die, you can make your home your home. There's a lot more in terms of sort of internal furnishings. You could there's types of objects basically, so you can get types of objects that you can pick up in your inventory. You have a carry capacity that's expandable. You can take a vehicle. Depending on the vehicle, it has different capacity itself. Each container you craft, whether it's small or big, stuff like that, has different capacities. So you really sort of end up sort of thinking, okay, well, I want to go to this end of the map. I might not be able to make it, so I'll just take like a big transit van, something like that, just so I can fill it up while I'm over there, and then I don't need to worry about coming back and forth because it's so far away. Or you might take a camper van with a bed in it, so you can actually sleep without having to find a place where you can sleep out in the unknown. So it does so many good things, and you can essentially make your camper van like a mobile base, which I did think about doing, but considering the carrying capacity of the camper van, it's really better to have one where you can plop down more storage. So you can make, and the other type of objects is stuff that you can physically sort of move. So you don't put it in your inventory, you just pop it here, and that you need a truck with an open bed so you can put stuff in. For instance, because the water and the gas, the water and power goes off early-ish into the game, I took a truck with an open bed with 4 huge water barrels in it and just filled them with petrol. That was it took me ages to do, because for whatever reason, I don't know if there's a way to do it that I didn't find, but the only way I could figure out how to do it was by taking a jerry can, filling that at the pump, and then pouring that into the barrel. I couldn't actually fill the barrel from the pump directly. I don't know if I mean, could we introduce a hose so we can do that maybe? But there you go. And I did the same with like 4 more water barrels for water from my home tap, which again I had to use a jerry can for. Which, well, maybe a little bit more realistic. I don't think the jerry can would fit under the tap personally, but whatever. I'd rather have the water rather than complaining about it, I suppose. There are plenty of locked doors and stuff like that, including cars that you can break into. Lockpicking is the lockpicking game you see in 90% of other games. That was Oblivion is the first one I recall. I'm sure it was in a game prior to that, but yeah, you move the key, you twist the lock, blah blah blah. So it's also it's got what a lot of people that do play 7 Days to Die really want to return, which is to learn by doing. So when you do something, you get better at it. There are a few exploits you can do, like crafting low-cost stuff just to get your skills up, things like that, like campfires. So you would build up like multiple campfires because they're relatively cheap, and you know, get your skills up that way, because there are like skill limits on what you can do. You end up doing 3 types of workbench. The workbench allows you to craft some stuff, and then you have a build menu, which is similar to Fallout 4's, I suppose, in terms of placement and things like that, where you can build more substantial stuff like the stations themselves, furnishings, or reinforcements for doors, things like that, walls, you know, the more structural stuff, the bigger stuff. Whereas like the crafting is like, the crafting table can be used from slicing fruit to making lockpicks, so your mileage will vary. When you go out, it's all about looting. It's a very loot heavy game, which is good and bad, because you will find that once you get to a certain point, you'll be ignoring most of the looting in certain places. You'll be more apt to go to specialist places like a gun range or a police station or a prison, stuff like that, to find more specialized loot, because all the stuff that you're picking up in general households, okay, you might find a pistol here and there and a few bullets, but by that point you've probably got like all the different tools that you need, and it's just more of the same stuff you've already got, so you'll generally be like, okay, maybe I'll just do the kitchen and get some food. Food is also of concern, being a survival game, but you can farm in it and grow your own, so eventually you're able to mitigate a lot of these problems. I think the biggest thing I find in this game that's going to like stop me playing it is the fact there's no real overarching, I should say, story. Sorry, some prick is moving his bin around outside, so yeah. Oh god, just I'm not starting again. Fuck it, we'll deal with it. So there's no like trader quest or anything like that in this game, or the equivalent of. It's just like survive, and once you're sort of at the point where you're kind of self-sufficient, you're like, I don't really know what else to do, to be honest. I mean, there's nothing pushing you along. I did buy, I just played it for the first time last night, and I did buy, what is it called? Outbreak Island, which is another kind of zombie game. They're more like electro zombies, and there's like weird squidgy things. Like I said, I've only played it for like about an hour. But that has quests for you to do. Like, it's go explore this, go cut up some logs, go do this, where Vane really doesn't. And for me, that's going to be like, okay, well, I've got my base how I like it. I've got water, I've got electric, I've got a good supply of fuel. Really, all I'm doing is just to get more of that stuff that I already have plenty of. So they're gonna have to introduce something that keeps me wanting to play past that point of being self-sufficient. I think that's the big problem with Vane. The systems are incredibly well implemented, though. I am very impressed by, I mean, like, you get food, and you can cook the food, but you need like the specific stuff. You don't just take it to a campfire or a pot or anything like that and just throw it on there. You need actual like proper cooking utensils for it. It's the same with crafting. You might need like a heavy cutting tool or pliers. or a hammer or a large hammer, depending on what you're doing or what you're breaking down or what you're trying to build. So, and that all goes, so if you go up to the crafting table, for instance, you want to craft something, the tools and the consumables need to go into the crafting table itself, and that will allow you to craft the recipe. So it comes out of the inventory and goes in there. But you will generally find yourself walking around with most of one tool of each type anyway, because you obviously want to do stuff out in the field, and disassembling stuff for components, even that requires different tools. So finding those tools is like you're probably your earliest thing outside of getting a weapon. And to be fair, as I say, single zombies aren't too much of a challenge. Hordes obviously are, but you need to really agitate to get hordes coming up on you, or at least that's the way I found it to be. Single zombies, so I mean, like a baseball bat that you've stuck some nails in, usually good enough. Obviously you get guns in the game. I found 2 different types of pistols, which is they're renamed differently, but it's a 1911, a Glock, I'm not sure what model, maybe a 19, and a shotgun, which is, I can't remember the brand of it, I think maybe an Ithaca, and a rifle, which I want to say Mosin Nagant, I think that was it, and a bow. So those are the weapons I found. I've been to a gun store, but it was like, here's like 6 shotguns and 4 rifles and a bow and ammo, and that was about it. I found that a little bit disappointing. I was kind of like looking for a greater ranging weapon, at least from a gun store. You'd think there'd be a bit more. I know there's other weapons in the game, but I haven't found them yet. So maybe a military base. But I mean, I went to the town hall. There were plenty of cop cars there to look through. None of them had a shotgun or a pistol. You would expect, like, normally they have like a riot gun locked between the seats or something, don't they? That's what the movies tell me anyway. So it was kind of weird that I didn't find any there. But I mean, I found plenty now. So I've got like, I just took them all, threw them in the back of my car, came back with them. I'm like, yep, that'll do. I mean, it really is a looting and base building game more than anything, I think. I mean, the zombies are there, and you know they are a threat because they can infect you, even a single zombie. There is driving in the game. There are multiple different types of vehicles. You can hotwire them, or you can find keys for them. Most of them are without keys. You'll generally find one in your starting area where it's like, oh, this one's got a key, great, I can actually do something with it. But they all have different components, so they have like lights, tires, internal components that you have to like look at, because they all have their different sort of wear on them. And obviously fuel. You're not going to go very far if it doesn't have any fuel in it. But yeah, the driving is okay. It's a little bit twitchy at high speeds. You will find yourself fishtailing a bit and then be like, ooh. And one interesting thing is as you get faster, like going stupid speeds, your character will have a panic bar fill up, which was obviously you're like, oh Christ, okay, I'll slow down, because he's not happy going quite as fast as you're going, which is kind of a nice touch. There are a lot of different vehicles. Some are faster, some are slower. Some have storage space, some have more storage space, some have beds in. So, you know, you can really sort of pick which one you like. I mean, there are ATVs, motorcycles, pickup trucks, which is probably the most useful one, at least early game, because you got a flat bed to put shit in that you want to take back with you, which is nice. There are also drugs in the game. Yay, I have, like, in my kitchen, I literally have a countertop and I've just got like cigarettes, cannabis and cocaine just all over it. Anytime when I pick me up, I'm just like, you. And I got a fridge full of whiskey as well, because I can't break the habits of a lifetime. What can I say? Nothing makes me happier than when I open the fridge door and see a big old bottle of whiskey in there. And yes, I do refrigerate my whiskey, and I don't care. I don't have ice, so, you know, because it dilutes it. So why wouldn't I refrigerate? No, never mind. I'm off track. Yep, so there's different gauges that will come up. So, like, if you smoke some cannabis, you will get, like, a stone gauge come up. If you get drink, you have a drunkenness come up. I mean, generally speaking, you don't sit there and just pound beers or like smoke joint after joint, because they're limited in what you're going to be able to get. So you're like, oh, I'll just have a beer and maybe go to bed. How about that? So your bed is your respawn point. It switches to wherever you last slept, which could be an issue if you have to sleep out on the road, because obviously you're going to be respawned. Say you're driving back and you're miles away from your base, you're miles away from where you last slept, and you get taken out by a walker, and then you respawn back in the bed you last slept, and you're just as far away from home, but your ride's not there anymore and your gear's not there, and you're in a bit of trouble. So generally speaking, I try and avoid sleeping on the road unless it's in the vehicle, because at least that way you've got wheels when you respawn. It's a good game. I mean, it is in early access, so they probably will, obviously update it and put more content into it. It's just, I'm not real sure where it will be going once you're self-sufficient, because to me that just seems, okay, well, I've got everything I need. I'm growing food. I'm supplying my own water with like the rain collector. I've got my own power because of that. I can recharge my cell phone and do that, doing all the stuff that you need to do. So why am I bothering looting anymore? I've got it all. I've completed my base. It's all set. It's fortified. I'm all good. Because like higher level fortifications, the zombies can't get through. So I think it's like level 2 or higher. I mean, if you're playing multiplayer, which you can do, which I'm not because I have no friends, you can still crack it, but it takes stuff like dynamite and explosives to get through some of it. So yeah, there's like, I mean, maybe if you're playing multiplayer competitively, there's more to it for you there, but like certainly as a single player game, yeah, once you're self-sufficient, there's no real reason to carry on playing it at the moment. Hopefully there will be in future releases. One thing that I haven't touched on is you do have utility slots down the bottom, and because it's more of a realistic thing, so in your utility slots you might have a map, you might have your cell phone, you might have a torch. I mean, you can use the torch on your cell phone, so generally you're just like, yep, cell phone. And if you don't have stuff like that, then you won't see the time. You won't have a compass at the top of your screen. Stuff like that. You won't even see where you are on the world map. So you need to have those things. I mean, I've got like a whole cupboard full of cell phones because I don't have the capacity to charge them yet. So I just use one and then switch out another one. So it's quite nicely done. And all the systems in it work pretty well. The combat is a bit clunky, but it's not too bad. It's certainly not unplayable or anything like that, and it is an early access game, so we have to bear that in mind. So, Vane, would I recommend it? I think yes. I mean, it's not the game it's going to be just yet, but it's £15. So, I mean, if you're going to play it, I mean, even if you only play it for like, I don't know, a dozen hours, you're getting your money's worth, really. Compared to like the latest Call of Duty, where you pay like, especially if you're like me and just want to play the campaign, and it's like 5 hours, and you've paid 70 quid for it, or 80 quid, Jesus. Call of Duty always upscales itself for some reason. Stupid. Because I think Black Ops 7's out today, which I probably won't play. I think I can get it on Game Pass anyway, so there you are. Yes, don't get me started on Game Pass. So Vane, it's a very, very good beginning for the game. I think it still has some way to go before it's like fleshed out, full featured. It is certainly playable. I mean, you will still see stuff like placeholders for hats and things like that, where it doesn't really reflect the hat you're wearing. But outside of that, I'd say it's a good game. It's not very expensive. A lot of the systems are really well done in it. It just needs more time to cook. And you know, it's in early access, so it will get that time, and hopefully they take what's a very good foundation and bring it to fruition in a zombie game that's going to be really good and really fun. So that's my review of early access Vane. Let me know down below if this is going to supplant any of your current games. I mean, for me, probably not going to supplant 7 Days to Die. I just spent 4 hours on it yesterday building an underground garage, so yay. We powered remote doors. I just when I'm base building in that game, it's like me doing Legos or Gunpla or anything like that. It's just I just get so into it that like 7 hours goes by and I'm like, oh shit, it's like 2 in the morning. Fuck, I haven't eaten yet. Work tomorrow. It has literally happened to me. So anyway, guys, take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.